Good evening. I'd like to call the Board of Public Works to order. I tried to delay that. Roll call.
Alderman Zielinski. Alderman Engelbert. Alderman Benner. Alderman Nichols. Alderman Taylor. Alderman Sevenick.
Here.
Alderman Keehan. Alderman Langdon has been excused.
Thank you. First item on our agenda is the minutes to approve. Alderman Taylor.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of February 2nd, 2015.
Is there a second? Second by Alderman Keehan. Any additions or subtractions? Changes, I should say? Seeing none. All those in approval say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Those minutes are approved. Item D, discussion and action item. Before we go any further, I'm going to recognize Director McKenna. She has some changes for us so that our motion isn't quite out of order. Would you like to go ahead?
Sure. I think you have the memo and the backup sheets that were distributed as part of your packet. And I'd like to go through this because, as you know, this was included in the 2014 budget. And the project was laid out in a particular way. But as you get through projects, you always find change orders. And when I prepared this memo for you and the backup sheets, it was last week. And since then, I have some additional information that changes the numbers. And Alderman Sevenick was kind enough to allow me to change the numbers with you as we go along. So if you want to sharpen your pencils, and we can work together on this. If we can look at the memorandum first. The original block grant was $175,000. The city share was $87,500. Donations were $87,500. And the estimated total project costs were $350,000. When we got into the project itself, the construction bid came under at $319,100, and we have some additional changes. I listed them at $6,103.95 last week, but the proposed change order expenses were increased this morning because, as you saw in your backup sheets, the construction company needed to include its bond, its labor, and also some general contracting overhead. So instead of that share being $6,000, or the proposed change being $6,103.95, it's $7,454.50. And then we have items that were included in the specs. They weren't part of the construction contract. One was utility service, and it's my understanding that there was a sewer line that was detected when they started to do some excavation. So the excavation needed to take place. And then a planned part of the specs was fiber optics, but it was the owner's responsibility. Those changes or items included in the specs but not a part of the construction contract came to $3,804. So the total current price with the $7,454.50 is $330, $358.50. So to date, I have the current obligations at $165,179.25. That's the grant share, or 50%. The city share at $82,589.63, and the donations at $82,589.63. The donations as of January 30th, as on my last memo, were $42,754.41, which were raised, and then $30,000, which were pledged. So with the revisions I just gave you, their goal will now be $82,589.63. So their balance to raise is $9,826.22. So if you look at the change order expenses, and I hope you've had a chance to do that on that second page, The changes that we really would like to see come in now, because we can leverage the block grant funds, and we did make sure that these changes would be covered by the block grant. They are considered a part of the building, would be closet doors, which are now lockable. And right now, those are currently sliding, but they have no locks. And it's my understanding that they're coming off the tracks. And the reason we need closet doors is because they store equipment from the Y, for example, weights. And so it does need to be locked because it is rented also. The $937.79 are cabinets from the health room. Those cabinets apparently were not on the original specs because they were trying to prioritize costs. And they really do need to be a part of the health room. And then there's cabinets and counter for the kitchen serving areas with lockable files. The good news is that we've had some areas where we've realized some changes or budget adjustments. Medicor is a change in lock sets, so it cost us less. Schwitzer is changing the price because we had a change in lighting controls, so that gave us a total of $575 budget adjustment that we could put toward this. So with those amended prices for the change order expenses, we're looking at a total budget adjustment of $7,454.50. Do you have any questions?
And these will be retabulated and given to us when we approve on the council level. So our new number then is $7,454.50.
Correct.
I'll entertain a motion. Alderman Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll make a motion for change order Commonwealth Construction Project PF 13B-14, add $7,450.50, change order number 1, Senior Center.
Is there a second? Is it $7,454.50?
That's what I have.
Okay. So the right number is $7,454.50.
Correct.
All righty. And who made the second? Alderman Keegan. Questions, Alderman Engelberg?
Well, I was going to make the second, but somebody beat me to it. But all I want to do is compliment Director McKinney on the fundraising effort of the Senior Center. I'm very pleased to see that you're almost at your goal. That's a tough job, and especially around Christmas time and late fall and January. So I'm very, very pleased. I'm sure you worked hard at it. And,
Thank you. I really need to give the credit to Jean Woolerman and her staff, and I believe she had a volunteer assisting her from the community, and they really have been aggressive and doing a fine job. And then also to thank all the people in the community who have stepped forward and really, stepped up to the plate. Thank you.
And they're still accepting
Absolutely.
donations. So
Yeah.
if anyone wants to help us out there with our senior center, we still need, what was it, a little over 9,000. So
Yeah. You made great
always-
progress.
could use your help.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you. Next item on our agenda is I thought we did not. Okay, so let's take a roll call.
Motion carried on roll call 7-0.
All righty, thank you. Then again, I'll repeat what I was about to say, update on the status of the proposed parking ramp. We've noticed that there's been some work being done out on the Broad Street parking lot, and Alderman Taylor contacted me and asked that we get some type of update of what's happening, considering we haven't taken any steps as far as approving any type of work out there at this point. I don't know if Alderman Taylor, you want to take it from here, or?
You said exactly.
Okay. Mark, this is about the item 2.
I can tell
Give
you
us an
that
update status.
soil borings were taken out in the Broad Street parking lot. The developer's engineer had looked to seek approval to go ahead and take some borings as in an exploratory manner to determine the adequacy of that site, I imagine, for a parking ramp. So we worked together with them on just blocking off the parking stalls in the locations at which they wish to make those soil borings, take those soil borings. And beyond that, I think Greg had a memo in tonight's council communications, which explained at least at this point to the best that he could, the status of the rest of the project.
Kind of a schedule, a possibility. Any further discussion on item 2? Okay, then we can move forward and discussion regarding downtown parking study. Alderman Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to be proactive in regards to the parking situation in our downtown. We have an opportunity, I think, to assess the inventory of parking stalls throughout our downtown. For the last 2 months, I've referenced the 2013 Downtown Menasha parking study, which was done by Kevin Engelbert. He was an intern here, also Alderman Engelbert's son. And very nice job on this document, and it's a wonderful tool, and I can see there was a lot of work that was put into this, and it gives a nice overall view of the downtown and what's going on. And in our packets tonight, there was a 2014 October field observation that was kind of a follow-up to Kevin Engelbert's report. And Director Kyle, who put together this particular report, because I know it's...
Current intern Agnes Vitendi.
Okay. Just for the public, Menasha has a total of 990 parking spaces in the downtown area. And certainly if we have our new office building with 300 more employees downtown, we would be bumping up to our density as far as the parking stalls. So if we need a parking ramp or not, I'm not sure at this point. We certainly have a lot of surface lots and one parking ramp downtown, and I don't know if it would be beneficial to, just for discussion and talking out loud, to add on to that parking ramp behind those particular buildings there. One benefit to that is that we don't have to dig down. It's already a level below the street, which is kind of nice, and it's kind of made that first parking ramp. I think there's quite a cost savings there. I know that won't add to all the parking needs as far as for the new office building, but certainly if that was a wraparound to that back structure there, I think it would benefit the other businesses there too. On the street, it would give them a street level of parking behind there, and I think that would be beneficial to them. I don't think we should go higher than that one floor on the backside of those buildings with the condos on the waterfront, and certainly that one level won't impact. It would only impact their parking situation, which they have their garages on the first level there. I think we have many opportunities in downtown Menasha here to accommodate the parking situations. People may have to walk a block, which isn't too much to ask somebody to walk in our downtown if they're working down here and they're parking behind the senior center or in the Broad Street lot. There will be some walking that they'll have to do to use these stalls and to until we're at capacity. And then at that point, I think then we'll have to look at what our options are. I don't know if we have a number from the new developer as far as how many jobs we're going to have in that building. And I've heard some who may occupy some of that building, and there might be some needs for some vehicles in that area. So it's as this comes forward, I think we'll have to adjust to it. And but certainly I don't want to jump out and just say we need a ramp and build a ramp without really looking at all the other options on the table here. Thank you.
Community Development Director Kyle, do you know if the proposed building is looking at any parking underneath the building, other than, like not necessarily going down a level, but maybe just underneath? Have you heard anything, or Mayor?
Well, we haven't gotten the final
To
building plans. I
Okay.
don't believe they were considering that. That may be something we would be asking them to look at as well.
Yeah. You look at other communities, especially when you're in Madison, everything is underground parking. And, some people say, well, the river's right there. Well, actually, that has no effect whatsoever on the fact that you can go down a level. In fact, from what I've heard from engineering, is because the water goes towards the river instead of the other way in. But we have it right here on the condo that was built, and it's underground parking, and I've been in it, and it's nice and dry. So, if we're really, I think the developer should take some responsibility too for the parking issue, but of course, if we're going to have a building of that size, the city also needs to share in that. So I would hope that we'd have a shared working relationship on that issue of parking. Alderman Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not sure if we have to have a parking ramp. What I would like to see is the least impact on residential homes, if that's the case. So I certainly would be sensitive to having something like this right in front of the residential homes, where we have the opportunity not to have it in front of residential homes. So I think that should be a factor, and no one is going to have to walk too far in our downtown for parking. So that should be taken off the table right away, that there is no distance here that should be upsetting to anybody.
Any further comments? Questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Go.
Just 1 second. I think as this develops, and I'd like to stay ahead of this and discuss this, and I would hope that the mayor and Director Kyle would keep us informed, and as these numbers come forward with the new development, that we can start looking at this and build a model and come up with the best solution for our downtown and our neighborhoods.
Last call. Seeing none, all those.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion's been made to adjourn. Is there a second? Second by Alderman Keehan. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Broadcasts of the City of Menasha Administration Committee, Board of Public Works, and Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin-Fox Valley. Menasha residents and interested parties can obtain information about these meetings and meeting agendas from the city website, www.cityofmenasha-wi.gov. Expression of opinions regarding City of Menasha issues or about these broadcasts can be made by contacting the Mayor's office, 920-967-5117. Contacting their city alderman. Contact information appears on the website. Completing the electronic feedback form on the website. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.